welcome to the His and Her Show with Jody.
And Alex Misiak.
And today we're going to talk about eliminating negative self-talk.
Yay, because this is a big one for me.
I think the first step in this is realizing that you are having negative self-talk with yourself.
I've gotten that far.
Okay.
Some people haven't gotten that far.
Because that's the biggest step. And then I think a really good idea is having like a piece of paper or even a journal around with you. And if you're working from home or it's a weekend, I would jot down. Like, I'd be aware. So the biggest one is knowing, like realizing that you're doing it. And then the second one is like being mindful. So just even listening to what it is. Like what's showing up, what negative self-talk. Do you want to share like one of the ones that you have?
So like when a negative thought appears in my head.
Because we all have them. We do. We have like crazy thoughts going on all day long. I don't know numbers, so I'm just saying crazy. We have a lot.
We do.
And a lot of them we're not even aware of. That's why I say you have to be aware of them first. And then you have to be mindful. And I'd be jotting them down.
Yeah. So because
there might be a pattern.
I think there is, for sure. At least with some of the ones I've had. I'm trying to think of one recently. Okay. It's funny that when I don't want these thoughts, they come unbidden. And now when I'm trying to drag one out into the open, I should have written it down earlier. I should have had the pad with me. Now I can't find them. I'm not good enough. That's one that comes up quite a bit. And it's important to, like, when that thought enters my head, it's like I have to write down what I'm doing, what was said perhaps, or what was going on at the time that this thought came into and maybe it's nothing, or maybe it doesn't seem like it's anything, but if you sit down and actually, if you can spend the time to sort of try and unpack where that thought is coming from, then that's where the patterns come out.
That's a big one. But even if you just want to hit the surface, and you don't want to go deeper, a big one is just like, I am enough. So when you catch yourself in a negative thought of you're not enough, it's like, I am enough.
Yeah.
And then I personally like linking affirmations with something that is physical, like more physical in a way. Like, so it's like, I am enough. And then like think of a moment that you did something really good that you're proud of. Do you know what I mean? Like linking it to something that actually happened in your life. So you're not just floating out words. Because affirmations are great. And it's the feeling behind the affirmation that gives it power.
Yes.
So that's why you have to get to that place of, yeah, I am enough.
And then link it. And then for me, I need to link it back to a memory where, like you said,
I
helped someone.
Yeah, like you like think of that moment that like, oh yeah, like that was like I did that.
A really good job
at
that time, or it was really good.
So it's linking it to something that actually happened that made you feel like you were enough.
Oh, okay. Here's a good concrete example, because that thought enters my head probably more than it should. Obviously, I need to learn something. Okay, so. All right, well, we can cut this if it doesn't, or we can cut what I'm saying right now if it doesn't work out. But Anastasia came home from school with a little, what is it, the alphabet, basically. And with a simple note on it saying, like, basically, Anastasia doesn't know these letters, please practice. So that brings up all kinds of stuff at that time within me, like, I'm not a good enough parent, I'm not a good enough father or teacher, because my kid is struggling at school, or apparently struggling at school, right? Like that's what I saw there at that time. So but like while I'm dealing with those negative, I can't help her.
Yes, yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Like I can't help her when I'm dealing with that kind of stuff. So. We looked at it, and I think I started thinking, because of the fixer in me, I started thinking about how to fix it. And you're like, honey, we're not going to do this now in front of her. We're going to talk about it later. And then, obviously that's what we ended up doing. So I don't know how I came up with the idea, But I'm like, okay, Anastasia, we're going to practice your letters. I think it was the next day.
Yes, yeah.
We'll practice your letters. And I'm like, how about I draw the letters and then we, you tell me what letter it is. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, oh, how about you pick the colors? Which letters I'm going to draw so that she can become involved. Because she's not drawing her own letters just yet when she wants to. So this way I do all the hard work. And she's got to identify the letters. And that went really, really well. So much so that the next time I asked her, like, okay, how about, I practice your letters with Mom? And she's like, no, I want to practice my letters with you, Dad. Mm-hmm. Right? And that is so empowering and so, such a good feeling, So that's where I can link the feeling of I'm not enough to no, I am enough. Mm-hmm. Remember when I helped Anastasia with the letters.
Here's the funny, I love that you're sharing this with me, like for the very first time. But I also had that feeling, and I actually shared that with you the night it happened, remember? Because it brought up emotions for me, because I had a hard time in school. So for me, it really brought down, and that's why I didn't want to talk about things in front of Anastasia. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like there's a time and place. Like kids definitely need to see like arguments, and then they need to see the whole step. An argument, like they don't need to see a screaming match, but to hear like an argument and then see the parents solving it along the steps that it is, and then the like awesomeness at the end. You know what I mean? Like working through a problem.
Right.
However, when it comes to certain things, we have to be more sensitive because they do hear things. Even though they might not look like they're paying attention, they usually hear us. So there's certain times where I don't want her to feel bad or get this like, oh, I'm not good enough already.
Yeah,
like, designed into her.
This is where it starts.
So that's why I was like, okay, let's we'll talk about this later. But I was working with my own emotions too, and I don't know if me sharing mine helped you or what. But like I'm glad that you're sharing this with me now. But yeah, it brought up stuff for me too. So I feel that part of it, and this comes up for a lot of parents, that we don't feel good enough as parents. And we have to remember that our kids are their own peoples. So we have to try the best we can. We have to, support them the best we can. But they're not, no one's perfect. And my biggest struggle after, I'm like, okay, I want to help our kid, but she's super strong-willed. So I'm like, how do you do this? So I love that you got yourself out of the way enough to help her in a fun way that aligns with our daughter. Because I've been trying to work with her letters and her reading, and like we took that moment that night to really just stay, we really just, it's kind of like the toilet training incident where we just kind of accepted where we are. Do you know, you know what I mean? Yep. Like, where I was like, okay, this is where we're at. What are we going to do? We literally just asked ourselves the question, and you came up with an answer. So just listening within instead of like listening to the negative self-talk.
Yeah, I think it was very important to get that out of the way.
Yeah, and you know what? It's okay to have negative self-talk. And one of the biggest things is not to put it underneath the carpet. Like,
right. I'll bury it.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
And that's where like affirmations are great. I love them. And I fell into the affirmation trap when I was in my mid-20s, when I first was discovering this, and it turned into denial. When you bury something and then it pops out at the worst time possible. So it's okay to have, I want to emphasize this too, it's okay to have. And maybe we shouldn't have said eliminating negative self-talk, because it is going to be there, but it's helping you through the process of negative self-talk. It's okay to feel it. That emotion's coming up for a reason. You had that, I'm not good enough as a parent. And like I said, we all get that as parents, I feel, at one time or another. And it's being like, well, why? Why am I having this? Like, what's coming up for me? It's like, maybe you just don't feel like you're supporting enough. So it's dealing with it so then you can actually help, move forward kind of thing. And because if we stay in that negative talk it's like, it could be like, I'm fat, or I'm not smart enough or I'm stupid. And like, if you stay there, it's like what you focus on expands.
Yep. You got nowhere to go.
Yeah. And like, you're just hanging out and brewing, and it brews, and it just gets this negative ball of blah. So it's like, you gotta look on it head on. Be like, okay, I'm not enough. Why am I not enough? And then, get through that. But like I said, the affirmations do help in the moment. So I've actually worked with clients before where they've had moments of negative self-talk, like maybe at work or like at a family, outing, where you can't just take time to just really connect with why.
You're right.
So if you have some that come up in certain environments, you have an affirmation. And that affirmation helps you switch when you're in the public. And then you can work on it one-on-one, like one-on-one with yourself, or like inner.
Or a coach.
Yeah, exactly. And really get to the bottom of it. So affirmations are really great when you don't have that time really to sit down and really dig deep. And, but it is, you even have to just say hello to it. Like, hey, I see you're here.
Yeah.
Let's move on. But like, again, like in environments when you're in the public sector, it's a little trickier. You just it's almost like switching the light switch. So like it's in a dark room. I'm in a dark room. Switch on the light, affirmation, move on. But like, remember to take notes later, or like be like, oh, I just turned on the light. I need to address this at some point, or else it will run your life. Like, I was in deep, deep denial. I kept saying affirmations about, I love my life, or whatever it was, like, and I was just pushing negative emotions down, and they just went deeper and deeper. And then eventually I realized that on the outside, to everybody, I looked happy, and like half the time I felt happy, but there's a lot of things that I was still hanging on to. Some old stories, some, old beliefs, some negativity that just I would never let come to the surface. Yeah. So hopefully that helps.
No, that is, it's you can't just keep burying it. And I also like the fact that the affirmations have power if you only have power if you can give them power. So you definitely need to associate something with those words to make them more real.
Yeah. Well, and if you don't feel it, like I had a really awesome affirmation, then I met you. So
yeah, so you really felt it that way, but which is great for.
Well, there is multiple steps.
Everyone involved in my little circle, so that's good. Yeah, no, but you have to give. I think it's important that you have to give those affirmations power. Otherwise, it is just you. And if you look at your negative self-talk, you may find that it more often than not it's meaningless. It's like a knee-jerk thing, almost. And if you have a knee-jerk affirmation to it with no power behind it, the negative talk will just keep coming.
Well, exactly. And you'll just be like having this like power struggle.
Yeah. So don't do that.
And then also, what was I going to say? I lost it. Sorry.
Well, if it comes back, let me know. We'll edit it back in.
Sorry.
That's okay. So, eliminating the negative self-talk permanently involves more work.
A little bit of work, yeah. Actually, it can be a lot of work.
Can be a lot of work depending on how deep that belief is and where it stems from. Oh, did you remember?
Yeah. So the thing is with negative emotions, they can actually be stronger. And for the most part, they are stronger than your positive one, because these negative talks that you're having with yourself, and like, I don't want to come from a place sounding like I don't have them, because I do. I have them all the time too. And it's just realizing them and be like, okay, and really figuring them out. The thing is, they usually stem from something you've been telling yourself for a very long time.
And
so the whole "you're not good enough" came from something a long, long time ago. So when that gets triggered, like that's a deep, like that emotion's been with you, and that belief that you're not enough is there a lot longer than I am enough.
Right.
So the negative one will win out sometimes. So it's just having that, again, it comes from love too. Like, I love myself. Like, it's like, okay, I got this. And you just, come from love.
And that's why I like that if you're going to have an affirmation to help you turn that switch in your head away from that negative thought, is because the positive affirmation is something you are training yourself to do, you need to give it some more oomph.
Yes.
And you do that by associating it with a time where that affirmation was true. And
don't give up so soon. Like,
yeah.
I think now in an age, I am the most guilty of this ever, is I want it now. I've always wanted it. Even, going to school for fashion design, I have this design. I want it now, created, like, in front of me. I don't want to sew. I don't want to, cut the fabric out. I don't want to have to sew it together and iron everything. And I wanted it, like, now. And I think it's even more in society now, where it's like instant everything. Like, I can order something off of Amazon and a day later I have it. Super cool. However, that's not always the case for everything. And a lot of the time, like, especially, like I said, these negative thoughts have been here a while, is you got to be patient. We got to learn patience again with things like this too. Be patient with yourself. Send yourself love when you have them. Don't beat yourself up on it either. Like, that's a big one. It's like, oh, I'm having a negative, it could go two different ways. Like, oh, I'm having a negative, self-talk. What does this mean? What can I do? Or it's like, oh man, I'm saying it again. Oh, I hate that. Or, and then you're just going down this deep, dark path of, like,
all you're doing is you're giving the negative thought more power.
Exactly. So it's okay that you're having them. We all do. I don't know a single person that doesn't have them. Even the most empowered person I know has them. It happens. I know mentors of mine have them. And, they've been working on themselves for years. It's just understanding them, getting to know them, and instead of looking at them as your enemy, think of them as a life like a learning experience, and like something to learn from.
Yep. And you can keep learning.
Exactly.
From. Yeah. That's good.
But we all have them. Like, we all have them.
But there's some steps for, let's say, taking the power away from your negative self-talk, and instead of trying to eliminate it, you take the power away from it, and by giving yourself an affirmation, by giving the power instead to that affirmation, and then in order to depower it even further, the negative self-talk is when you got a chance, write it down, write down what was happening, because this talk that's coming up, it's like you said, it's a story, it's something that some part of you believes is true, and it's not. So you got to figure out where that came from and heal that aspect of you. And you've done a lot of work on that, and that's why you've got the coaching business and how you want to try and help other people get past these things. So,
but even though I have, doesn't mean, like, I still have them too. So I want people to really understand that like it takes time, and like they're going to creep up, so, but it's okay. Love them anyways. Learn from them, and then you can release them.
There you go. Awesome. Thank you. That's a great, very succinctly put.
Well, we hope, you had a really, great takeaway from this episode, and we'd always love to hear from you too. So if there's ever a topic that you want to hear about, or you have any questions, or you want us to just cover something on a podcast, please, contact us
at
info
at
jodymisiak.com.
info@jodymisiak.com. All right.
Yeah, so we'd love to hear from you. Okay. We hope you have a beautiful day.
Bye for now.